Your name as you speak, and you have 2 minutes. And as you, 1 minute? I'm sorry, correction, 1 minute. So let's go ahead. Begin, sir.
Hello, Board of Supervisors, county officials, and guests. My name is Bob Shaw, and I'm the president of MWS. I've been in the environmental business for over 43 years. For the last 6 years, we at MWS have been operating a regulated medical waste treatment site right here in LA County. Until recently, we, like all of our competitors, had to ship all of our pharmaceutical wastes that we collected to Maryland or Texas for destruction. Pharmaceutical items are required by California law to be destroyed via incineration or high heat. Due to California's high standards on minimization of pollutants, there are no regulated medical waste incineration sites in California to treat pharmaceutical items. Recognizing this opportunity, we invested heavily to acquire and permit the Coronal X process right here in LA County. But I had 2 minutes. No, sorry. I'm good. That's it? I'm sorry.
If you have any items you'd like to submit, this item is also going to be brought back. But I allowed for courtesy to have those that had already signed up to be heard today. So I really did make it a point to allow for that to happen.
I'm sorry. I thought I had 3 minutes.
But you can always come back. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Alex Davis, Legislative Affairs Manager at FICA. I'd like to thank Supervisor Antonovich for his motion to continue this item until June 14th to allow the county and stakeholders additional time to create a viable solution. Since this board first began discussing a possible EPR ordinance, we have shared our thoughts and support for a comprehensive education alternative. An education program will help create a safer, healthier community for residents without risking the economic strength of the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Madam Chair, can I just add to his comment? I would hope that you all understand that while I'm supporting the continuance, it's getting a little old, and I think that the two sides need to come together and work this thing out. And so I just hope that they understand this continuance might be the last time we continue it.
Well, and also, as I remember, it was to give the industry 9 months to work something out. I don't think they need extra time. But often, you know, when an author says, look, I want to organize this so that, for instance, a whole lot of drugstores might have a new program and we want that to go into effect right away, you know, we want to hear back about that. We'll do the courtesy. But I think I agree with Supervisor Kanabe, and I know Supervisor Antonovich is serious about this. So I don't see this as foot dragging in any way. So I would just tell anybody testifying that they're really happy that we're dragging our feet, that we're not.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Craig Cadwallader, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Surfrider Foundation South Bay chapter. And I would encourage the supervisors to place this ordinance on the agenda for adoption and not delay. There's no reason that if any of the retailers want to implement a program of take back on their own, that they can't do it right now anyway. I don't see the point in delay, and I would encourage you to move forward with it and protect our goal. Surfrider's mission is the protection and enjoyment of the ocean waves and beaches, and sharps and pharmaceuticals do impact our area, and we encourage you to move forward on this. Again, retailers can implement anything right now. There's nothing holding them back, and I would encourage them to do that, and I would encourage you to put this on the agenda for adoption. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I had called Bob Shaw, Colleen Foster, Lauren Acklem. I'll move on to Vishnu Subramanian. I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly. Andrea Ventura, Bonnie Coleman, Donna Meredith. Go ahead, sir. Just state your name for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Vishnu Subramaniam. I'm an organizer with the California Alliance for Retired Americans. We represent 950,000 seniors and retirees here in Southern California. I'm here today to ask you not to delay this vote any further. You're all familiar with the issues. You and your staff have come up with effective solutions. Your agencies have studied this issue in detail. You have experts on staff. We're asking you not to delay this vote. I had several seniors and retirees here from throughout Los Angeles County who couldn't stay until today to testify, and some of the people you called won't be able to be here. We are in support of this issue and this ordinance because seniors have no place to take their unused and expired medication. They're worried about their children and grandchildren getting into their medicine cabinet. They are concerned about the environmental impact of drugs being flushed down the toilet. We're asking you not to delay this any further and have the vote as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Donna Meredith, and I'm with the California Alliance for Retired Americans, and I am also a native Angelino, and I want to say that the problem we have is when my sister passed away, I had a hard time finding a place to get rid of her medications. What that causes is if I can't, right now I have to wait until Saturday or Sunday between 9 and 3 to get rid of any medications or sharps that I have to do, and it's 20 minutes away from my house. I can drive it, but if I could take it to a pharmaceutical, a pharmacy, it would be at the about a block and a half away. Now, I can get to them, but we have many seniors and disabled people who can't get further than their pharmacy. They know where their pharmacy is, they can take and get rid of it, and we need this done as soon as possible because it's damaging our oceans and our seafood and everything around us, and this has been a wonderful place to live and grow up, and I don't want to see it ruined. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Andrea Ventura, Bonnie Coleman, Craig Hampel, Gary Clifford, Tori Chica, Bill Pollack, Staley Prom, go ahead, sir. State your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Bill Pollack. I'm the program manager of the Alameda County Household Hazardous Waste Program. I came down today because I heard there's some trash talk about our program out here, and I came to set the record straight. To paraphrase Mark Twain, reports of troubles with our ordinance have been greatly exaggerated. 3 minutes really isn't enough, or 42 seconds really isn't enough to go into this, but the pharmaceutical industry has gotten together. They formed a product stewardship group. They have responded to our ordinance. They put together a product stewardship plan in our county that calls for 100 kiosks at eligible sites, pharmacies, law enforcement, hospitals. They are working towards that goal. We have the first of 13 kiosks. Contracts are signed and the kiosks are ordered. They're about to go in. I urge you to join the 5 other counties in the Bay Area and King County in Washington and pass this ordinance. It's for good public health for your people.
Sure. Supervisor Kuehl.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
What kind of process is then used for whatever's turned in? Is it
It goes to incineration at a hazardous waste incinerator in Utah.
in Utah?
Utah.
And the county is paying for that
County's
transport?
not paying for it. This is product stewardship. The pharmaceutical industry is paying for that. They're also paying for our oversight costs.
So, but that's a plan, you said, that they haven't actually gone into effect yet?
And it's gone into effect.
Okay, so you have 13 kiosks?
So there are 13 kiosks whose sponsors, law enforcement, and pharmacies have signed contracts. The kiosks are being shipped now, and we're waiting for installation. We also do one-day household hazardous waste
Right.
collection events with a medication component. We've done 5 of those so far this year.
And those go to Utah for incineration?
It all goes to Utah, and it's all paid for by the pharmaceutical industry.
So they're already paying for those shipments?
They're already doing it. They're already paying for it.
Okay, good. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other?
Okay, thank you. I just want to also chime in that when my father passed away, he had multiple illnesses, and we had well over I would say close to 200 pieces of medication that my sisters were troubled over and how they would dispose. So this is incredible what's happening, and I hear it often from many people, even from younger people who are in no need of their medicine or medications, and it is a crisis. So thank you for coming down. I apologize.
One further question. Who has the liability for the kiosks?
Right now, it's the Product Stewardship Organization,
Say that again.
the pharmaceutical industry,
Pharmaceutical industry, not the pharmacy.
not the pharmacy.
Okay, thank you.
Question, who are the pharmaceutical companies that are participating with you?
The list is 350 companies long. We've identified, in Alameda County, we identified 457 companies that, producers that sell prescription drugs in our county. About 350 of them are now part of the Product Stewardship Organization, and we are pursuing the rest of them to get them to join.
And pharmacies, which ones?
No, these are pharmaceutical companies that are
I
producing.
know, we're talking about the companies, but also after the companies, what pharmacies are participating?
The pharmacies that have signed contracts are all independent pharmacies. So far, most of the chains aren't to that point. Walgreens made a national announcement that they are putting in kiosks in some of their stores. We have about 37 Walgreens in our county. 2 of them have kiosks.
So you have 2 of those in Walgreens right now?
In Walgreens, yeah.
And the other ones are independent?
The other ones are independents right now. So the plan has a 3-year phase-in period. We've just gone through the first year. We had some problems in the first year. You know, we only got 1 collection event happening. There were some contractual issues that had to be worked out. There were a couple other issues. Our original ordinance didn't cover non-prescription drugs, but the public doesn't make the distinction. Drugs are drugs.
Right.
So we actually amended our ordinance at the beginning of this year to include non-prescription drugs. And that helped smooth the way for adoption and more pharmacies signing on. So that's happening right now.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, next speaker, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Craig Hampel. I'm a board member of the California Product Stewardship Council. I'm one of many recycling coordinators here in Southern California, and I support this. I support the pharmaceutical and sharps take back initiative here. This is a healthcare issue. It's a public health issue. We have a lot of workers that are exposed. We have a lot of recycling workers that have been stuck with needles. We have workers around hospitals who find them in parking lots. We have park workers who are finding them in public places, in airports. It's just about anyone who ever handles waste materials. They're all exposed. And this will give us a great boost in getting more support around this. We have a lot of people, including home health care workers that aren't supported by their own employers, who come to us for sharps boxes supplied by you, the county. So I'm very excited that this moves forward, and I hope you'll make that decision today to move it forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Good afternoon, honorable supervisors. My name is Tori Chica with Sorrell Associates. I'm here today representing the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, also known as PhRMA. I appreciate the time to speak with you today. For almost a year, PhRMA has been working diligently with your staff and county personnel on the take-back issue. We're pleased with the industry alternative of a public education program that we have presented, and we welcome an opportunity to discuss how we can make that proposed program even stronger. PhRMA appreciates that this body has decided to continue the take-back issue until June 14th, and we look forward to holding more productive discussions with the county so we can collectively create a program that will best serve the residents of LA County.
Next speaker.
Good afternoon, honorable supervisors. I'm Staley Prom, a staff attorney for the Surfrider Foundation. I'm here today on behalf of our organization and specifically our West LA, Malibu, and South Bay chapters. I'm also here in my personal capacity as an LA County resident and a frequent beachgoer and surfer at Malibu, Topanga, and Venice beaches. A clean ocean and safe beaches are important to us, and we need this pharmaceuticals and sharps take-back ordinance to keep pharmaceuticals from being flushed down the drains where they ultimately end up in our waterways, and also to keep needles off our beaches. Hypodermic needles are too frequently found on beaches on coastal cleanups. And just a couple days ago, my fiance was running in Santa Monica on the beach, barefoot, like we're all typically are barefoot on the beach, and saw a hypodermic needle laying in the sand. As you all also likely know, Dockweiler Beach was closed last fall when pounds and pounds of needles were washing up on the shore along with other medical waste. We should not be having to worry about stepping on needles when we go to the beach. I urge you, please don't continue the hearing on the ordinance today. Introduce the ordinance and keep our ocean and beaches clean for LA residents and visitors. If you're concerned that the time frame is too long, that's respectfully all the more reason to go ahead and introduce it today with shorter time frames for stewardship plan development and a quicker deadline for implementation. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Genevieve Clavral, Heidi Sanborn, Bernice Bonilla, Joseph Lyons, Kent Minault, Pilar Schiavo, Stephen Johnson. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, state your name.
Thank you very much. I'm Heidi Sanborn with the National Stewardship Action Council. I completely agree with Supervisor Antonovich's motion in regards to the desire to get take-back options available to the residents as quickly as possible. However, I've been through this rodeo before with 6 other counties, and the delays have never resulted in the program getting implemented any faster. Past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior, and the manufacturers have behaved in a way that dictates that they will not incur these expenses unless they're mandated to do so through an ordinance. This is why the thermostat manufacturers and paint companies actually worked with us at the state level to pass legislation we could all live with. Unfortunately, we've not been able to come to those agreements at the state level on these 2 product types. So it's really going to be left to the innovation of counties to lead until we can come up with a statewide solution everybody can agree to. But these are the exact same programs these companies run in Mexico, Canada, much of Europe, and countries like Brazil and South America. So they've designed these programs. They work well. They're cost effective. They're convenient. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Yes, my name is Stephen Johnson. I'm here on behalf of Heal the Bay. I am their water resources policy analyst. I brought some photos that I've made for each supervisor of basically syringes on the beach. It was 1988, 1 year before the fall of the Berlin Wall, when an event known as Syringe Tide took place on the coast of New Jersey and Long Island. Hypodermics with other medical waste was found on their shores. Beaches were temporarily closed, and Billy Joel had a beginning to his final lyric of "We didn't start the fire." It is unfortunate that 15 years into the 21st century, we've actually seen similar events taking place on our own shores in Los Angeles. I passed out photographs taken by a member of our staff who found multiple syringes washed up on Dockweiler Beach the morning of March 12th after a heavy rain. In LA County, there are currently only a few designated spots, not nearly enough to be convenient. The ordinance was created through a thorough and inclusive process involving diverse stakeholders. It is ready as is, with no need for further delay. More delays mean more dangerous events like the ones portrayed in the pictures. Thank you.
Thank you. Bernice Bonillas, Joseph Lyons, Kent Minault, Pilar Schiavo, Ruth Sarnoff, John Walsh, Reese Isbell, and lastly, Lancaster, Dr. Diana Beard-Williams. Go ahead.
I wanted to address some of the things that I think haven't been talked about up to this point. I am noticing here that the whole issue of the role of the California Environmental Quality Act and CEQA, that was not to be considered. I think that's a real mistake in this particular instance. And I think if you look at the whole cycle of the transport and how it's going to be taken care of at the end spot, that I think to put the writing of the initiative without guidelines for the writers is not the right way to go. And I think putting big pharma companies in charge of policing it is not good either. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Reese Isbell. I'm with the California Life Sciences Association. We're a statewide association of 750 different biotech, life science, pharmaceutical, medical device, life-saving activities, companies throughout the state. And we've been a part of the ongoing stakeholders discussions for the last year, really have appreciated the ability to have those meetings and discuss. If per this motion, we have another stakeholder meeting, that would actually be the first one in 2016. We'd be happy to be down here and part of that with that discussion. So we're looking forward to continuing our ongoing negotiations and discussions about putting together this program.
Thank you. I think we have one more speaker in Lancaster.
Yes, this is Dr. Diana Beard-Williams. I just wanted to say that I speak totally in favor of this. I am one of those individuals who take a great deal of medication. I've had cancer of the thyroid, diabetes, and a number of other issues. And I believe at our sheriff's station in Palmdale, we do have a Sharpies container, which I think is very, it's an excellent position for a lot of people to drop them off, but we don't have enough. And my greatest concern is really public safety and public health. I have seen medications on the street where people have put them in their garbage and they have spilled out onto the street. And I worry about children, and I also worry about our animals that walk up and just eat whatever is there. There's a great deal of health risk in the way things are being handled now, and I think that this ordinance or this measure would help remedy that, and I think the pharmaceutical company should take responsibility. After all, they're making money from selling these. They ought to help us get them back in a safe place. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, with that.
Madam Chair, item 58B is before you, and this item continues item R1, 14, and 57 to the June 14th, 2016 agenda.
It's been moved by Hanabi, seconded. Without objection?
And one more thing, Madam Chair, before you go to the adjournments. We had a member of the public who had previously signed up to address items that came before this board, Mr. Previn. We're going to call up Mr. Previn. Mr. Previn is not in the boardroom, Madam Chair.
It's not outside either? Okay. Okay.
He checked. He's not outside.
Okay. Okay, we will now move on to adjournments, members. We start with Supervisor